voting machines could be compromised. And he was the one saying recently, we don't have that clip right now. We have the clips of Rachel Maddow from before. Yeah. But he was trying to say that now it's a conspiracy theory. So this is their claim now, then we'll go to their claims before.
This conspiracy crap is just like Trump's anti-media enemy of the people smear. It's a slow-acting poison that is crippling the American body politic.
Slow-acting poison, like your thyroid.
Jeez.
I'm not a good converter from free T3 to T4. It's glandular.
I expected him to just snap at the end, like.
No. You ever think that Brian Stelter is secretly the little piggy who built his house out of straw?
Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
I don't just mean the overweight joke, though I do. But I mean, didn't have the foresight when the wolf is known for huffing and puffing and blowing homes down, just like throwing on some reeds. You think, that's good enough.
He stopped listening at blowing.
Oh. You had me at huffing.
Really? I am. I'm sorry. I don't know if I am.
Don't blow my house down. I'll open the door. And that third piggy had to be pissed. He said, well, did you really have to crash on my couch? It's like, well, I don't have a house. You built it out of straw, okay?
Yeah, told you.
That is Brian Stelter now saying it's a conspiracy, and I think we have the clip of Stelter, or at least CNN, in 2016, talking about the vulnerability of the voting machines. Here we go.
What are other ways that this could be vulnerable?
These devices have to communicate with some sort of database system. We don't know what the transport network looks like between this machine and the actual database server. So anywhere along that path, if a hacker was to have something installed, then the communications could be intercepted.
Given all this research, what would you say is safer, electronic voting or voting in paper?
Well, I can tell you this year I will be voting via paper with a mail-in ballot.
As someone who is kind of knee-deep in the vulnerabilities, he always sees like the worst could happen. What keeps you up at night?
A compromised election.
Oh! This conspiracy crap is too much.
I wonder if we'll be it would be hilarious if we get fact-checked for that clip.
Yeah. This is disputed.
Don't worry, Susan Wojcicki, we got plenty more where that came from. Because even MSNBC, now they didn't just report specifically on voter fraud in 2016. No. So we've gone CNN now, CNN 2016. Let's go MSNBC 2018, specifically talking about Dominion vulnerabilities.
We reached out to all 9 companies that you named.
He looks panicked
their response to the story, and they all essentially echo 3 main points from the joint statement signed by Clear Ballot, Dominion Voting Systems, Election Systems, and Software Heart and Unison, saying, quote, voting systems were not hacked or compromised in the 2016 election.
Well, there's been a lot of cybersecurity experts recently saying there are all kinds of ways that you can tamper with the either official or unofficial results if you can exploit some of these flaws. You go to the companies, as I have, and you ask them to talk about this, and they don't want to talk about it.
For the idea. Brilliantly thought.
What's this guy doing?
So I would say maybe about 600 people, like 598 in our total power.
See, she's looking at her Excel spreadsheet with notes, handing it to him.
And they said it was somewhat lower, but a lot of people, I think.
Nerd Boy's looking for a certain kind of pen for some reason. He just pulled a USB out.
Did he?
Yeah.
Where's he going?
Pulled a stick.
Oh my god, is he taking it to that laptop?
Yeah. That's exactly what he did.
It should not be connected.
Man, why are USBs getting pulled out of a cabinet computer, and then I think he's on a mouse over there now. I could have sworn he just pulled a USB. I know he did, but I don't know what he did with it.
It does look like files from a distance, but I can't really tell. You know, like a big file folder.
Like a file manager. Oh, I see what you're talking about. Looks like large icons.
Yeah.
Which would be weird to have.
Right?
Nobody uses that for data. I use that for looking at pictures, maybe.
Scanned images?
Huh?
Scanned images?
Yeah, but I don't think you'd be transferring scanned images. See,
You're
he
right.
pulled
I
the
saw
stick
it.
out of
I
the
saw
left
it.
now, and he's taking it back over.
What are you doing?
So what do you do with the sticks? Derp, derp, derp.
You're doing the sound effect. Oh,
It's just what he looks like to me.
took a notepad.
Derp, derp, derp.
Where is he going?
A lot of work to do. I don't only need you to get me elected, I need you once I'm elected.
I work at the vote bailouts, which means we get your votes in and we separate them. So if some of these votes happen to say, like this one, Donald J. Dumb Trump, that one just don't make it towards the mail.
This is the Republican Observers. There is a lady who has blonde braids who comes out to announce we're going to stop counting. Everyone go home. And in fact, we see that. What happens is everyone clears out. So what you're going to see, look at the ladies in yellow. You'll see that they will begin just sitting still, doing nothing, ostensibly not working, because after all, they said they're going to stop counting. They will wait until the witnesses over there in that roped off area, the press and the observers, leave the room. Then you'll see them move into action and begin scanning ballots. Once everyone is gone, coast is clear, they are going to pull ballots out from underneath a table. There you go. So now they're going to start pulling these ballots out from under this table. This table, the black one, was placed there by the lady with the blonde braids. Okay, so 821. You'll notice the table's not there at all. Here it comes. There's the table going in that we're talking about where the ballots were obscured. That lady who's moving it is the lady with the blonde braids. She's dressed differently in the morning, so it took us a while to figure out that's the same person that you see at night with the blue apron on who's yelling for everyone to leave and who stays behind to help tabulate ballots after they've all left. Yeah, I saw 4 suitcases come out from underneath the table. So he just pulled one out. So what are these ballots doing there, separate from all the other ballots? And why are they only counting them whenever the place is cleared out with no witnesses? These machines can process about 3,000 ballots an hour. You have multiple machines there, and they're there for 2 hours. So you do the math. We believe that could easily be, and probably is certainly, beyond the margin of victory in this race. Because if it's only 3 scanners working for 2 hours, right, that's 18,000 ballots that went through. And so if we were to sit here for the next 2 hours, what we would see is that this operation just goes on and on and on.
We're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
Companies that you named,
He looks panicked
their
to be on
response
air.
to the story, and they all essentially echo 3 main points from the joint statement signed by Clear Ballot, Dominion Voting Systems, Election Systems, and Software Heart and Unison, saying, quote, voting systems were not hacked or compromised in the 2016 election.
Well, there's been a lot of cybersecurity experts recently saying there are all kinds of ways that you can tamper with the either official or unofficial results if you can exploit some of these flaws. You go to the companies, as I have, and you ask them to talk about this, and they don't want to talk about it.
We reached out for comment, by the way, but suddenly they disappeared. So that's kind of,
Yeah, they closed all their offices.
That's too bad.
The Dominion offices, just no more LinkedIn, no more offices. They're just gone. Like, hey, Dominion, can you? Wow, there's just a Dominion employee shaped hole in the wall.
Like a vacant lot.
Yeah. It's just a Dominion employee dust cloud from where they used to be.
Oh my gosh.
Think about that for a second. You know what? Here's the thing, MSNBC. Our greatest sin was taking you seriously. We trusted you. You said they were vulnerable. We said, you know what? Maybe MSNBC gets some, blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. C-SPAN reported on how it was a problem that Dominion and other voting systems controlled the vote. And this is C-SPAN 2018.
Partisan hacks.
Sell off part of that, those assets to a third company. This is a company actually based in Canada called Dominion Voting Systems. So Dominion now has part of Diebold assets and contracts, and ES&S has part of Diebold contracts and assets.
That said, is there a danger in that in your view?
Yeah, so ES&S essentially is, maybe controlling the votes is too strong of a word, but they're certainly writing the software for more than 60% of the machines that are counting votes in the U.S.
How funny would it be if she was talking and it goes to a split screen, it's just a hat. Gryffindor! Biden! What? Slytherin.
I'm sort of in the middle of something.
I'm a little busy right now. Can you check back with me later? Potter. This is C-SPAN. We don't do commercials. So really, unless you go full screen, I can't take a sip of my coffee.
Yeah. And was she branded a conspiracy theorist by the left at some point? No,
This was fact checked.
Well, she is now.
Sure, yeah.
That's the problem. Right now, she's a Trump shill.
They're going back to deleting all of these videos as fast as they can right now.
Speaking of Trump shill, Rachel Maddow. So let's go to Trump apologist Rachel Maddow, who emphasized how worrisome it was that Russia could, again, this is what matters. People just think of Russia in the Facebook ads. Rachel Maddow was talking about, I think we actually have a montage because she did this so much. You're going to need a montage. How votes could be compromised in the United States because of cyber attacks on our election systems from, you guessed it, Russia. Rachel Maddow.
Far more worrisome to the Obama team was the prospect of a cyber assault on voting systems before and on Election Day. Worrisome to the Obama team was that prospect. Our government had previously announced that U.S. election systems in the state of Arizona and the state of Illinois had been hacked by the Russians. Last week, Bloomberg News had a report citing 3 people with direct knowledge of the U.S. investigation into the matter. They had a report that said the Russian attack hadn't just been against a couple of states. It had actually been against 39 states. Russian cyber attacks much wider than previously known.
This is everything that they have back then. We just went through C-SPAN, CNN, Rachel Maddow, in depth about how compromised it could be. Now, when we actually have receipts and we actually have data from the Wi-Fi networks being connected and hardline, I didn't even know you could hardline in 2020. Apparently it's this.
You can. This conspiracy crap is just like Trump's anti-media enemy of the people smear. It's a slow-acting poison that is crippling the American body politic.
You built your house out of straw, sir!